What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? In this video, I'll be going over what changes I would personally like to see happen in Season 12. And if you agree with any of them, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Other than that, let's get into this. Main of what you may first think of when changing things in Supercard. So, more specifically, the equipment, aka the air change equipment. What I would change is make that have its own specific area, so it doesn't affect the other regular equipment card. So I would have this specific, take out the stats, leave it as L change, no stats, change L. Then you have your equipment stats specifically for that, and L would be the L change. And as well, when you one of the things I would also do change for the equipment is the rewolving. Because we all know we will only may cost you 5, 6,000, 8,000 credits. So, what will change is, if you want to skip all that, have a specific amount of credits you can spend for the specific stacks you're looking for. So, with that, in the first section here, I would have that as a, if you want power, your best stat is power, and you want be the best power. So, have that. You can have this first section as the first. You want the best power to be 750 credits. Spend that best power, done and over. And then the second section, I would say, let's say, set as 1,000 credits for the section here, because you can have more chances. It will make sense. Cost a little bit more to get the best stat. So 1,000 credits to get the best power and that. No big deal. And it's not really a big change per se. It's more like a minor change. Is forging. Forging is one of the greatest things they introduced into the game, and because at the start of the season you can get your own the cards you're looking for right away. You want and so forth, right? But the only thing I would change is the super coins. For a single, spending 45 on super coins, I do feel is a bit much. So I would consider putting it down to, let's say, 1,500 super coins be ideal for a single or whatever. As far as blue crystals goes, that's fine, no big deal at all. And then for a pro, 9,000, I do feel it's still a bit steep for the amount for just getting a pro. So I would honestly knock that down to 3,000 super coins. It just feels like you're not spending an arm and leg for a pro card, for say, especially when you're trying to forge at the very beginning of a rarity or so forth. But you do have the method where you don't have to spend on the pro. Like, you can easily do forge if it's like the first, like an undercard or the Pacific card for at the start of rarity. So it'd be cheap going that route as well. So yeah, like, other than that, that'd be the only big thing I would change in forging. And another thing I would definitely change is the amount of time you have to wait for the silver and bronze fusions. I mean, for like a rarity that is 2 rarities old, waiting for like almost 3 days is a bit much. So I would literally knock that down to, let's say, a day at the very most. And then if you really want to, 12 hours, and then over 5 days for a rarity that is not even top tier. Like 5 days is a bit much. So I would knock that down to, let's say, a day and a half to 2 days. For say, but other than that, though, I mean, that would be the only big change I would do for the fusion chamber. To each individual game modes, which I would do is take some of them, it'd be brief, there'd be no change, so I'll just briefly go over them, say they'll find the way it is, a little bit like that. But the first one I want to cover is Wild. The big thing with Wild is it's not entertaining. It's been there forever, since season 1, and it's just not. It's basically the same as PvP's War. If anything, I would get rid of Wild and just combine the two and make it as a non-ranked game mode, or make it part of PvP At this point, it doesn't matter, or I'll just scrap the whole thing together. Because it's just not that entertaining anymore, unfortunately. King of the Ring, I would personally just leave it alone. It's perfect the way it is. It's pretty straightforward. No much explanation to what you really need to do. And with every 10 picks, you gain energy off the draft board. So it's pretty straightforward. No real big changes on my end for King of the Ring. The only thing I would personally change for Survival is the wait times for AFK players. Because I had experience live on stream and off stream. I had to wait for 5 minutes because 1 or 2 people is AFKing around. And I'm not gonna lie, it is annoying at times. But that's the one thing I do say is the biggest negative to Survival really is the AFK wait times. The next 2 modes I'm going to combine because they are perfect already, which is Money in the Bank and Campaign. I'm going to briefly go over the parts of what I liked about them. For Money in the Bank specifically, you're farming super coins. Pretty straightforward game mode. 50 super coins, about 250 for 5 belts, so you can't go no wrong there. And Campaign, perfect difficulty there. And yeah, other than that, like, no much real complaints for me. What I want to talk about is TLC. It's one of my favorite game modes, so I don't have no issue with the gameplay, but the only change I would make is the cooldown time. I believe right now is at 12 hours, so personally I would not get down to 2 because waiting for like half a day is just way too long to wait for a game to come back again. So yeah, other than that though, I mean, that's the only big change for TLC. And then Boom, the only thing I would change for Boom, great addition to the new season, great, but the only thing I would change is the AI difficulty is so inconsistent to a point where I'm like, really? Like, I'd be going through 1 to 4, no problem, and then all of a sudden, on game 5, I lose 2 back down to 3. So it's like, really? I was more consistent, gets hard as it goes. Most times that's the case, but there's those odd times where I would say it's not really the best at times. But I don't know. I thought the game mode is great. Now onto PvP, which I am not going to spend too much time on because I already talked about the real negative, which is War being the same as Wild in the game. So yeah, other than that, PvP is great, especially with Rumble and Chamber as modes in it. 2 thumbs up for me, and other than that, PvP is perfect the way it is. Don't really need to be changed all that much. Now on to Road to Glory. There is 2 real changes for Road to Glory I will make, and one of them is kind of reverting back to how Road to Glory used to be, which was bringing back human decks, which was for new players. This was the version of RTG that was in the game from seasons 1 to 5, if I'm not mistaken, and it was the best version I play of Road to Glory because with human decks, it made getting SC cards and limited edition cards that more important because with RTG today, with these bot decks, you're only facing against base pros, and let's be honest, the cards that we're getting today just outright destroys the bot decks, and it makes it kind of like, well, this is fun, event over, not much point, right? So with human decks then facing against actual humans in the game and facing their LE cards and SE cards, so it makes things more challenging. Yes, I do get it. People who don't want to spend want it easy. I get that 100%. But for the ones who likes the challenge, 100% will agree with me with this one. Human decks RTG was the best, and the other one is more or less It's not a big change, but I think it would help with how RTG can be portrayed, which does drag on a bit, which is cut RTG in half on the heroic side. So you only facing half the cards you do on a normal side, because how RTG runs today is pretty much you have basically doing it twice, the whole thing twice, and coming near the end on the heroic side, it drags on. Like, I just want to be done and over with. So by cutting the heroic side in half, or even leave it as 4 cards to do on the heroic side, it makes it less draggy feel, and I feel like it will help some people be okay. RTG's not too bad now. I can get it, so forth and so forth. The only negative from what I hear about ring domination is the Sarlacc, which is understandable, because I do encounter that quite a bit, which I understand. Like, go down to the final sword almost every single time when there was about a full board of swords. I get it. It's time consuming. You won't get up swords here, and there. But other than that, I don't mind ring domination. It is what it is. It's easy to get the event card and so forth, as long as you play consistently. But like, just like RTG, another change I would make is shorten up the heroic side by a card. So you get, for the heroic side, you get the top rarity card and then the upgrade. I think it would also help with the Sarlacc as well. Like, it do gets draggy with that, but I never really have too much issue with it. But I know others do mind it though. Now on to the rank events. The only big issue I have with the rank events is the quads. Please, Cat Daddy, take them out, because they are worthless unless you're like one of the whales and will go for top 10, top 5, or whatever. But other than that, it's just pointless, because during the last LMS, I did a little bit of a theory there. So, which is, I used all doubles and I was still able to get top 50, no issues whatsoever. And when I did the math, they're roughly between me using quads and me using doubles, using 5 times as much credits for what, another 30 spots at the most. I mean, to me, it's not worth it at the end of the day. On to everybody's favorite game mode, Giants. To be honest, perfect game mode, easy to obtain for all players, and yeah, like, it's just leave it alone, Cat Daddy. Not much to change there. And then for the final event mode, everybody's favorite, War Games. I'm joking. Keep your pitchforks down. It is not everybody's. It is one of the worst games in the game. Understandable, so it drags on. It seems like it takes forever. But the way I look at it is, I don't mind it, because it is what it is. For a game mode, it's there. At least it's not ring domination RTG all over again with that rotation, if we all remember that. But overall though, like, it's one of those things where I just learned to accept it, and for the most part, it is what it is. But I think like the other game modes I did mention earlier with RTG and ring domination, if we shorten the heroic side to like 3 cards, then I don't think it might help with the drag on with the game mode itself. It might or may not. I don't know. Let me guys know in the comments below. Will that help or not? Now into teams. First thing I want to cover is the team events. Road to Glory, Ring Domination, they're perfectly fine the way they are. They've been part of the rotation ever since teams first started in Supercard back in season 3, if I'm not mistaken. But like, I will agree with most people, we do need a third event. One event that I do have in mind that I don't remember anybody mentioning is Giants. Why Giants? Because it's so easy to get the card, And it's, I think with a team of 20 now, it will make it that much more easier to get, and you don't need not too much effort with Giants, of course, and get the feature card. Easy done. 24 hours. That is which most teams do finish Ring Domination and Road to Glory within the 24-hour span anyway. So Giants will fit in perfectly with the rotation. I would personally put it in between Road to Glory and Ring Domination just to break those two up. The team battle boards is a great addition they added this season, and in my opinion, it helps the team members to own rewards doing all different kinds of things in the game. Either it's like start so many fusions, play so many games to survive, or perfect games in PvP, stuff like that. Great addition to the game on easy rewards for the thing. And then the other thing is I never mentioned earlier is TVG and TSG. I'll leave those game modes alone, mainly because they are what they are and they serve their purpose in the game. Now for the final part, I'm just going to quickly go through so they stay in the game or no. Yes, stay in the game for Season 12, and no, get out of here. Extreme Bounty Breaker, no. Mass Play, no. Builder Pack, definitely no. Puzzler, definitely yes. Keep it going, maybe. Walk the Ropes, 100% yes. Rule the Ring, haven't seen in a while. I'll give it a modern yes. Give and Take, no. It doesn't really show much purpose. Bunch of Punches, if they lower the credits for the final board, then yes. Then I'm only showing times 5. Fail. Tomb Smasher, no. Last one left, yes. Hype Train, yes. Table Flip, yes. Fast Lane, I never really played, so I don't have no much of an opinion from what I've seen. No. Atomic Drop, yes. Gift Giver, yes, because it's seasonal. Same as Present Passo, yes. Lights Out, I do have a good experience with it, so is it modern? Yes. Wheel Torn, no. Foley's Foul, yes. Kick Out, yes. Blockbuster, yes. The Gauntlet, no. Deal of Destiny, yes. Tag Team Takedown, yes. 24/7, yes. Battle Pass, obviously yes. Collectibles, not as often, but yes. Reward Mania, maybe yes, no. Maybe moderate, give or take, I guess. Perks, no. Watch Party, no, because it kind of blocks you in from prone cards you're already in it. Saving Santa, yes, because it's a do with Christmas. Holiday Collection, yes. Mystic Map, yes. Invites only, no. Block Pass, yes. Skill Tree, yes. Street Fighter, yes. Territory Movies Just Head, yes. SummerSlam Rocks, yes. Oracle, yes. Ministry, yes. WrestleMania Forever, yes. Psychopath, yes. And Tides of Titans, yes. And those were the changes I like to see made in Season 12. Do you agree or disagree with any of them? Let me know. And as well, if there's any changes that you like to see in Season 12 I haven't mentioned yet, feel free to comment below what you like. What you like to see change in Season 12. And as well, to keep up to date with when Season 12 information does drop, join the Discord and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/CCAHero34. If you like what you see in this video, feel free to hit the thumbs up button, and as well subscribe to the channel to keep up to date when Season 12 info drops as well. Other than that, have a great rest of your day, and peace.